Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy. I got a smile on my face. Fans are about to be back in stadiums. Not only that, WWE is about to be back on the road. So that means we're getting some returns. And we got another big return. Also, we see the repercussions of what Edge did last week tonight. And we're getting some more stipulation matches. Now, the only thing about these matches is we getting the same feuds. So, without further ado, I'm going to dive into everything. And I'm Kevin Jones, the Disciples of Wrestling. And it's time for my Smackdown Recap. So we start off the show and we get Edge. He is marching his way down to the ring. And this is our first time seeing him and really hearing him cut a promo since WrestleMania season. So it's nice to see him again. And he talks about WrestleMania, in fact. He talks about how many times that it is played in his mind, that match. And of course, the outcome. And of course, he's not happy about what ended up happening. But he knows for a fact that he can beat Roman Reigns. And it's only a matter of time before it's a reality. And of course, after we're finished with this, we cut backstage. Jimmy Uso's like, hey, bro, where's Roman? He's talking to Paul Heyman. And of course, Roman Reigns has not shown up yet. But he lets Heyman know that, of course, by the end of the night, Roman and him are going to put Edge in his place. And of course, put the family bloodline flag on top of Edge. Now we get to our first match, and it is Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews against Big E and King Shay Nakamura. I think I said that right. The King of Strong Style, the new King of the Ring, Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura. And Baron Corbin came out, and I'm not going to lie, they really hurt my man's feelings. First of all, he came out to his old King music. Second of all, when they tried to introduce him as King Corbin, they stopped him. They stopped the ring announcer, and he went back to basic old Baron. And you could just see the depression on Corbin's face. And then you even getting Apollo trying to hype him up, going, come on, bro, I need this. I need Baron Corbin. I need old King Corbin back. You know what I'm saying? And, eventually Apollo tags him in, and Big E looks to wake him up a little bit by shoving him off the apron. But Baron Corbin snapped right into it. He ended up giving Big E the work, and we actually see Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin end up zeroing out Big E for a lot of this match. All up until Rick Boots ends up pointing to, of course, the Titantron. And we see Baron Corbin's G-Wagon end up getting towed because he missed some payments. Because apparently he lost a lot of money when, of course, he lost the King of the Ring crown. So we end up seeing this, and this distracts Corbin to where Big E gets in the big ending. And we end up seeing Big E get the win for his tag team. And Corbin's just left depressed. He's having a rough one. Next up, we're getting the face-to-face with Bianca Belair and Bayley. Just when we thought that this feud had ended, it's still going. And we end up getting this face-to-face where Bayley talks about how the win that she had with Seth Rollins last week proves that Hell in a Cell was a fluke. And of course, this ends up bringing out Bianca Belair. And Bianca calls a spade a spade. She says, Bayley, this proves that you're obsessed with me, boo, because every time you lose, you just come right back like a roach. Just like a roach. And then we end up seeing Bianca flat out say, how about this? I'll put my title on the line again at Money in the Bank. And this time, as we have our match, it will be an I Quit match. Now, of course, Bayley ends up accepting, and she says there's no way Bianca's going to win this match. But Bianca said to her face, I thought I was tired of your voice. But come Money in the Bank, I can't wait to hear you say the words, I quit. Now, our next match of the night, we see Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a last man standing match, where the winner of the match qualifies for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now we get this match, and it is a banger from the beginning. We see Kevin Owens hit a nice swanton off the barricade. We see Sami Zayn flip Kevin Owens onto the commentary table without it budging. We end up seeing KO end up hitting a nice modified fisherman suplex off of the top rope. We see a beautiful Tope Con Hero from Mr. Sami Zayn. But this is where I was confused. So KO ends up setting up this double stack of tables on the outside, and he's looking to get in some offense against Sami Zayn, but Sami avoids it, and he pushes him off the top rope inside the ring onto this double stack of tables, right through it on the outside of the ring. KO beats the count. First gripe. All right, now the second one is when, of course, we end up seeing a nice half and half from Sami Zayn onto KO, where KO lands neck first onto the apron. KO beats the count again. Then we see in the ring 3, not 1, not 2, 3 haluva kicks from Sami Zayn. I was like, this is it. This is it. He done. Homie beats the count again. At this point, I'm like, all right, I've seen Fast 9, and this reminds me of Dom. I'm like, it don't even matter what happens. He gets up, and he don't even look like anything happened. But we end up seeing the finishing sequence where KO ends up powerbombing him through the commentary table, the same commentary table that didn't budge. He picks him right back up, power bombs him through another table that was propped on the outside of the ring, right next to the barricade. Then he picks him up once again. This was back to back. And then he ends up power bombing him onto the apron, and Sami Zayn just couldn't answer. It was over. He Mortal Kombat finished him in this sequence. It was bad for Sami. But we actually get it official. KO has now qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, going from one Money in the Bank ladder match to the female side, where Sonya Deville ends up coming out, and she's announcing the second person from SmackDown who will be in the females Money in the Bank ladder match. And she ends up introducing none other than the returning Zelina Vega. Yes, she was one of the people that ended up getting released earlier this year, and she looks like she got re-signed. I'm glad to see it, man. A lot of people that didn't deserve it ended up getting cut. But she got released when the whole Twitch thing was going on. So she actually was before everybody. But I heard that she was in the process of coming back anyway, and I'm happy to see it. She ends up coming back and talks about how the possibilities are in her favor as she's looking to win the Money in the Bank. And Liv Morgan comes out. And I feel Liv in this situation. She's like, hey, she ain't even wrestled on SmackDown this year, and you picked this girl. So I'm confused. Why are you picking her instead of me? So she was like, how about this? How about me and her have ourselves a little match? And Sonya Deville makes it official. And this was quick. Actually, what ends up happening is Selena's looking to get a pinfall victory over Liv Morgan by grabbing her trunks. Well, the ref ends up catching this. And then we see Liv Morgan end up reversing this and getting her own little comeuppance, where she pulls the trunks of Zelina Vega and ends up getting the win. This match was less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Now we go backstage, and Seth Rollins approaches Miss Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, and he's staking his claim. He's like, hey, bro, what? I was next up for the Universal Championship, not Edge. So why he getting the match? And he's looking to really stake his claim on this. But Pearce and Deville are not budging. But instead, they give him a Money in the Bank qualifier. And it is against Cesaro. I thought that was done too. And you know, the frustration that Seth Rollins popped out of this, and his same frustration was mine. But he laughed it off. And I'm hoping, you know, my boy gets the win. I hope he does. Just to prove to them he should be next, because I feel the exact same thing. And we go back to the ring, and Otis of the Alpha Academy is coming out for a match, and he's going up against the Street Profits, D'Angelo Dawkins. And Otis got a new haircut. He looked fresh. I ain't gonna front on you. He looked fresh. He looked alright. And poor little Dawkins. Dawkins got worked. He got beat. Otis dominated this match, then disrespected my mans when he went for the second rope splash, then brought my mans to the corner and hit a Vader bomb on him to get the win. Otis looks unstoppable. Like, if a wrecking ball was a person, it'd be Otis. But, it's all good. On to the next. We get the last segment of the night. Jimmy Uso is looking to call out Edge. Main event, Jimmy Uso is looking to call out Edge. And, Roman, he didn't show up throughout the night. Jimmy was asking Paul, like, hey, bro, where Roman at? And, Paul was like, hey, Roman does everything out of purpose. And he like, you right. He gonna be here tonight. But I'm gonna prove my cousin that I belong in this bloodline. So he goes out and he just calling out Edge like, hey, bro, you not even man enough to stand in the ring with me because I'm about to give you work. Well, Edge ends up coming out and Edge is fully convinced that he's about to get jumped. So he's like, hey, I know how this works. I'm about to beat you up. And then your cousin comes in, wipes the floor with me. What happened to you, bro? I thought you had the backbone. I thought you came back, fight for your brother's honor. But you just fell in line like him. You look just as dumb. So, Jimmy getting worked up a little bit. And Edge is like, I thought I was going to get trapped. But turns out you're the one that's trapped, sir. And, it looked to be true. Because Jimmy was looking for Roman. And Roman never popped up. And Jimmy got to work. He actually got in a little bit of offense on the outside of the ring. But overall, Jimmy got worked by Edge. Edge beat this poor little man down, and then he ends up taking the chair, breaks the little pole off, and then disrespectfully chokes my man out with a crossface, yelling for Roman. And this is how we go off the air. Edge just beating down main event Jimmy Uso. I feel so sorry for my guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Phenomenal things ended up happening. We got 2 announcements where we got 2 qualifying matches for the men's Money in the Bank. And it's Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Baron Corbin against King Shinsuke Nakamura. So, of course, like I said, phenomenal action. Great stuff throughout the night. I'm just tired of the same old things. Tired of the same feuds. Hopefully, a lot of these come to an end by the end of next week. But until next time, I'm Kevin Jones, Disciples of Wrestling, and that was wrestling.